One of my favorite ways to build my audience and my empire has been through guest podcasting. Guest podcasting can prove to be both powerful and profitable for building your lead generation and client pipeline. I have loved using podcastguest.com to do just that. Podcastguest.com is a directory of podcasters who are actively looking for guests. As a member, every week you get access to an email of podcasters who are actively looking for guests that week, allowing you to easily submit for those podcasts that you're a fit for. So you get to spread your message with ease, stand out, build your brand, build your business, and get clients. As a podcaster, I have used Podcast Guest to get some of our extraordinary guests who we have had on The Princess and the Bee. So if you are looking to build your business by getting on other people's podcasts, then definitely click the link in the description to jump in and become a member of podcastguest.com. For only $15 a month, you get active podcasts who are looking for guests right now. Click the link below and jump in on podcastguest.com.
Welcome to the Princess and the Bee podcast, the place to be to build your empire as queen of your body, business, and life. I'm your host, Kimberly Spencer, founder of crownyourself.com, and I'm an award-winning coach, Amazon best-selling author, and multi-passionate entrepreneur. Each week, I give you the systems, strategies, and success stories to help you master your mindset, communicate with ease, and triple your productivity so you make the income and the impact you deserve. Imagine this podcast as your weekly spark of inspiration as you take it to the next level with all the B's of your life. Body, business, bank account, boys, and babies. Let's make it rain.
I love you, but you did a great job. But I really want to help you, but now I like big butts and I cannot lie. But when a butt is butted into the wrong place, it can lose you persuasion, influence, and the impact that you want to make with your communication. Watch this video now to learn where to put your butt in the right place so that you retain the persuasion and influence skills that you desire and you keep your butt exactly where Sir Mix-a-Lot intended. For the best leadership tips, entrepreneurship advice, and subconscious success strategies to help you stand out fearlessly, build your empire, and crown yourself, be sure to subscribe to this channel and make sure you hit the bell so that you are notified every Tuesday and Friday when a new video goes live. Hey there, I'm Kimberly Spencer, high performance coach and founder of crownyourself.com and self-proclaimed linguistic nerd. In this episode, we are going to get a little linguistically nerdy with your booty and dive into how we can remove the but from the equation so that you have more influence and persuasion. Damn, my rapping skills are improving. Let me ask you, what happens when someone sticks their big old butt, or even their little tiny butt, into the middle of a sentence? Feel these out for me. You look so nice in that dress, but it'll look even better when you lose 5 pounds. Ooh, you did a great job on that project, but I still don't think you're qualified for the promotion. I love you, but I just don't want to be with you. Oh no, she didn't. Whether a big butt or a little butt, our emotional response is to ignore everything that preceded the butt. So the I love yous, the you did a good job, the you look great, but as soon as that butt hits, everything else before it is forgotten and all we hear is the negative. The word but negates everything that came before it and puts a spotlight on everything that comes after it. But is like putting a giant warning symbol in the middle of your sentence that immediately sends the recipient's subconscious mind to look for danger. Warning, 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 warning. But is one of the most commonly misused words in communication and especially in the English language. It's normally used with the intention of being helpful, but ends up putting people on the defensive. And when people automatically get that defensive vibe of they're like, all right, the but came, now I'm ready for it, suddenly you've broken the rapport in communication. And that but can now create the opposite behavior that you were going for in any sort of influential or persuasive conversation. The person can then become more defensive, not less. And just like with wardrobe, you can try to hide your big ol' butt with fancier options like, and yet, however, even though. Darling, I had a divine time, however. That is a solid argument. And yet, even though you make a good point, dear boy, I still disagree. Yet we all know that these are just linguistic spanks for a big old booty that's stuck into a sentence that's going to cripple your communication and influence. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How has your big butt shown up in your communication skills? And here is how to get your big old butt out of the way by using and instead. Back in my late teens and early 20s, I studied improvisational comedy. And in improvisational comedy, you are creating a scene out of nothing. And so in order to create that scene, one of the rules of creating a scene in improv is yes and. If you say no or yes but, it immediately takes away the illusion that's being established in the mind of the audience. Yes and automatically creates an agreement frame where both players are in a space of rapport, co-creating a scene. Well, the same is true in your communication.
If you're listening being like, I could do that. I could do a podcast. I would love to be on more podcasts, then Queen, I will hook you up because my Communication Queens program, 8 weeks of group coaching to learn how to profit from podcasting, where all you got to do is share your story, serve, sell, and we set you up for success. I will teach you my exact processes and strategies to not only get booked on podcasts consistently, but also to learn how to profit from them. And when you're ready and when you want to, start your own podcast. Podcasting is an incredibly easy and lucrative space where you get to stand out in your zone of genius. And as I've said repeatedly on this show, the more I see a business owner stand in their zone of genius, the more income I've seen them make. And so when you know how to stand in your zone of genius as a podcaster, doing interviews, sharing your story, serving and selling as the queen that you are, that is why I created Communication Queens. So Communication Queens opens for enrollment on May 20th. So get your booty in, mark a calendar, because I am so excited to support you and serve you to set you up for massive success in getting booked on podcast interviews so that you turn podcasting into your favorite and most profitable lead generation strategy. And now back to the episode.
The goal is for both of you to be co-creating something that is greater. Even if somebody didn't do well on a project, by using yes and instead of yes but, you get the person who didn't do well on that project to start thinking more creatively instead of thinking on the defensive. Yes, but is still a no. It's still a negative. And when we as humans hear those negatives, we immediately get put on the defensive. This is as true for your communication as it is when you receive communication. So let's say, for example, someone gives you a compliment like, hey, you look really nice in that dress. And you say, yes, but I could lose 5 to 10 pounds. Well, suddenly you have smacked down that person's compliment, negating their opinion because you put your big butt in the way. And anytime you negate someone's opinion or compliment with a yes, but, you disrespect their opinion of you. You disrespect their point of view that you may look amazing in that outfit. Yes, but causes you to devalue the other person's point of view as well as the other person. Because the word but, whether used in receiving feedback like, yes, but I could do better, Or in giving feedback like, yes, but you could do better, it immediately puts up an unconscious defensiveness in the communication with the other person. But instead, when you use the word and, it enhances the creativity and the co-collaboration and the influence and the rapport that you have with the other person. Let's see a few examples. I want you to not only just hear them and see them, but feel them. Feel the difference between a but and an and. You're incredibly qualified, but I think you'd be better suited elsewhere. Or, you're incredibly qualified, and I think you'd be better suited elsewhere. Here's a recommendation for a different job to apply to. In that instance, and leaves open the space for possibility, for co-creation, for collaboration. With the but, it feels like, oh crap, now possibility is curtailed. Whereas and gives opportunity and options for more to be created, for more to be explored. I totally agree with what you're saying, but could we discuss this one small matter? Or, I totally agree with what you're saying, and could we discuss this one small matter? You see, with the but, that one small matter feels like, holy crap, what did I miss? It enhances the fear of that one small matter. Versus the and, suddenly that one small matter doesn't seem like that big a deal. Now, there is a time and a place to use a big old but, and it ain't just in your twerking Zumba class. The best use of a big old but in your communication is when you want to de-emphasize the negative and acknowledge the positive. For example, you could have done better, but I know you're going to practice more next time. Or something like, I know we've been having a difficult time communicating, but what's important is that we're constantly growing and that we're both working through this together. Do you see how with putting but after the negative, it now reinforces the listener's attention to focus more on the positive rather than what they were doing wrong? So what if a big old but slips in from time to time? Here's the thing. In neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, there is a belief, a construct, a paradigm that we operate in that says that you are 100% responsible for your communication. You're not responsible for someone else's, but you are 100% responsible for yours. Just as the other person whom you're communicating with is 100% responsible for their communication. Make no buts about it, you now have the skill set, the tools, and the training to use your butt appropriately. Just as Sir Mix-a-Lot intended. Now, if you love tweaking and twerking the way that you use your butt in your language, then definitely jump on into the waitlist for Communication Queens. Communication Queens will teach you not only NLP communication techniques to enhance your persuasion and your influence, we also will be getting you booked on podcasts. You see, one of the greatest forms of communication and streams of income and lead generation for my business in the past year was getting on other people's podcasts. My team and I, we developed an amazing system that got me booked on over 50 podcasts last year that brought in over $70,000 of revenue for our company. Now, not only is getting on podcasts one part of the strategy, but you also have to know how to share your message, how to share your story, and these linguistic tools and tips and trainings to enhance your persuasion and influence so that you can profit from these experiences and this brand exposure. So jump in on the wait list into Communication Queens, and I am so excited for my Queen team and I to support you on your rise to rule. If you like this video, be sure to like it, subscribe, and share it with your friends who you would also like to get their big old butt out of the way of their communication with you. Always, my fellow sovereigns, own your throne, mind your business, because your reign is now.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. If what you heard resonated with you, be sure to subscribe and share your breakthroughs and ahas with me by leaving a review on iTunes so I can keep the magic flowing your way. And if you aren't already following us on social media, come experience the extra inspiration and queenly convos on Instagram at Crown Yourself Now, or visit our website at crownyourself.com. I am so excited to connect with you in the next episode. And in the meantime, go out there and create a body, business, and life that rules.